Hey everybody, it's Hannah Opaltree and welcome back to my channel. On my Instagram, I asked all of you what you would like to see on my channel and got quite a few ideas that I'm very excited to start working on. Thank you to everyone who sent in something. I cannot wait to film them. The one that caught my eye this time around was A Day in the Life of Rio, sent in by Phoebe Noblestone and Adelaide Grove. I'm actually personally interested to see what Rio does in his free time when I'm not around, so I'm going to be setting up some cameras around the barn, his paddock, and more, as well as filming me riding him and taking care of him, as that is a part of his routine too. So I hope you enjoy the video, and without further ado, let's get straight into it. Our cameras are motion detected, so nothing was picked up until 5 o'clock a.m. when Rio got up from lying down for the night. Rio is one to lie down in his stall to sleep, but of course he can sleep standing as well. There's been some nights where I've come in and he's still laying down with shavings in his mane, and it's really cute. As you can tell, Rio is just chilling and working on some excess hay from the day before. He seems to not really rummage around the stall as much as I thought he would. He's kind of steadied in one spot, but he does move quite a bit as well, which is interesting to see since he's such a powerful mover and always seeking purpose under the saddle. At 6 o'clock a.m. we have some barn lights turning on, and you can see Rio perk up a little bit at that. It's hard to hear in the recording, but Rio does tend to whinny a bit at us. He tends to do this specifically when we walk in the morning, and it's just the sweetest thing ever. On this morning that we filmed, some of my staff team from Evergreen Equine got up at the same time as me to do the morning feed schedule, since we had a pretty busy day ahead of us and wanted to get an early start. We love spring cleaning, but it takes forever to get everything done, so I'm very thankful for their help. Since this is Rio's day, I'll just focus on him. Rio gets 2 flakes of hay in the morning, and we actually get our hay from Valedale's Hay Supply, which is very helpful since they're not far away at all. They're actually right down the road. We use legume hay for Rio since it's higher in protein and calcium and better for performance horses overall. In the mornings, Rio gets a scoop of Triple Crown Perform Gold feed, which is a fantastic feed to put a performance horse on. He also gets 1 cup of Biotin Plus to improve his coat and hooves health. Naturally, we always have water present for our horses, so before I do anything else, I make sure that his water bucket is filled and clean so that he can easily drink to wash down his feed, especially since legume hay can cause a horse to drink more often. At 8 o'clock, we usually have our morning turnout, and on this day, Rio has exercise early on in the morning, so he's going to be staying in. He was not pleased to see all of his friends leaving him. Sorry, Rio, you'll get your turn. For morning exercises, Rio is usually a bit more keen on staying in his stall, so he can be a little stubborn while trying to drag him out. But as soon as I finish getting him tacked up, he seems to soothe up a bit and look forward to riding. He's pretty easy to tack up, but he does shift a lot and move quite a bit, so sometimes it can be a little bit of a handful. Today, I was just going on a light walk, trot, canter ride on the road outside of our stables. Rio loves this area and he loves just chilling and taking it slow, so to say this is his favorite time of day is probably correct. Even though he doesn't really like being taken out of his stall, once he's out and once he's doing his thing, he absolutely adores it. So here are some video clips that we got today of our ride. After our ride, he usually gets turned out for the day, which allows him to play around with his pasture mates and have a good old time. He gets super excited when he gets put out and likes to run around with his friends while he can. The rest of the time, he seems to just chill out and eat hay, so nothing really to see there. But here's a clip of him being a little frisky. Today we had a jumping lesson, so we had to get ready to trailer and head to the riding hall in Silverglade. Rio actually really enjoys the trailer for some reason, so I usually just let him load by himself, but today I just decided to show you guys me loading him. He enters pretty easily and enjoys his hay on the drive there. Here's him snacking in the back of the trailer during the drive. Thankfully, it's not too far of a drive. About 25 minutes later, we arrived at the riding hall and got started tacking up and getting ready for our group lesson. Rio really enjoys group lessons, not only because of the fact that it kind of gives him a break when others are riding through their courses, but it also gives him a little FaceTime with some of his friends from Evergreen Equine, but also Silverglade Equestrian Center. He loves being around other horses, it totally revs him up. During our lesson, Rio was a bit rushy and decided to relieve his energy. Not sure why, since he turned out during the afternoon, but whatever it was, he was having a great time. It was fun to work on lengthy strides and filling in a 4-stride distance into a 3-stride distance, but when we were asked to shorten our strides, it got a bit intense. Rio was gunning for the jumps, so it took us a moment to really get ourselves situated to shorten. Other than that, Rio was a champ, as always, and was a complete show-off in the ring. Also, shout out to my fellow students. Aubrey, Neva, and Laure were killing it in today's lesson, and thank you to my instructor Olive for being there to teach us. Our lesson ran for about an hour before we untacked and headed back to Evergreen Equine. I gave him a quick brush down when he got out of the trailer just to dry off a few more areas where he was sweating before putting him back into a stall. It wasn't too hot out, so it wasn't warm enough to give him a hose down, so I just stuck to grooming and letting him air dry. We let him rest for another 20 minutes before giving him his nightly feed of a flake of hay. We usually feed them their grain only in the morning and not at night, so he gets a refill of water, of course, and something to munch on during the night. After an insane day filled with all sorts of fun for Rio, he settles in and gets ready for the night. He was such a good boy, as always, but I'm so thankful to have such a giving and determined horse. He's going to do great things, so good night, Rio. Thank you all for watching today's video. Thank you again to the people who sent in video ideas and gave me the wonderful idea of seeing what Rio does during the day. Rio is a hard worker and has busy and chilled days, so I'm glad that I could see just a little snippet of his life. I can't wait to see what the future holds for him. I truly think he's going to be an amazing horse. I'm not sure if I'm going to intend on buying him from my foster mom, even though I don't really need to buy him from her, but him being mine, because I really want to branch out and find some other horses to work with and see if there's one that maybe suits me a little bit better than Rio does. But he has a bright future, and maybe someday we can sell him off or lease him or anything like that out to other people, because that would be amazing. He loves riding with different people. He loves working with a ton of people. That's just where his heart is, and I hope that someone can connect with him and just work well with him so that he can find someone to truly pair with. I hope you all enjoyed this video just as much as I enjoyed making it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!